Happy Friday, Facebook. I am back with a capital B. I was going to try and come into the intro of Guess Who's Back again, but I got to tell you, I missed the show. I miss being on Facebook. Um, for those of you who follow me who don't, I've had some issues recently that prevented me from appearing on Facebook, but I've found a way back, and it feels good. The show is so important to me, and it's kind of the message I wanted to share in the beginning of this episode, because it not only gives me a platform to show you what I'm doing, but it's so therapeutic and important to me, because of my ability to communicate with other people. I feel like that's a big passion of mine, and I wanted to let everyone know how much I miss them. Um, so we are back with an action-packed episode. A lot of exciting things going on within my world. I'm always trying to reinvent things. I'm always trying to create new content, and I'm trying to do it with as many people as possible. Collaboration's so important, and I hope you guys get that out of today's show, because the one thing that I want everyone to understand is that social media starts with the word social, and the purpose of its social media is virality, right? So virality, what does that mean? It's spreading. It's getting more and more people to see the things you're doing. And a lot of times you have to rely on a couple things. You have to rely on the quality of the content. So if people enjoy it, they'll share it. You have to rely on the people you make it with, so that they share and tap into their own spheres. So it's kind of this multiplicity effect, and it's something that I feel like most people miss. There's no point in not involving other people in what you do and your brands and all that good stuff. And that's my message for today. It's collaboration, it's a commitment to content, but more importantly, it's the supporters of your brand and who you do. I believe I'm defined by the people I surround myself with. I'm defined by the people I interact with. I'm defined by the people I help on a daily basis. It's what motivates me. It really is. My sole source of motivation is other people. It's my influence on other people. It's the things I do to help those people grow. And that's what fortifies me. And that to me is superstar quality. That's what it is. And that's my message. And honestly, I'm going to say this every time, but I'm going to say it again. If you aren't committed to what you're doing the wrong thing. You've got to find that thing that helps you get up in the morning and pushes you through the day, but more importantly, gives you the meaning, right? And that's superstar, man. That is the purpose of my brand, and I want to involve myself with other people that live by the same motto, abide by the same laws, do the same things, and that's why I am super excited to bring on a superstar person in every way possible, Mr. John Duffin of Duffin Media. I'm so excited to have you on today.
I cannot get over that kind of an intro. Let me tell you, the energy just from your intro and just feeding off of you, Chad, is just revs me up more than you can possibly imagine. It's great to be here. Thank you, man.
John,
Thank
I
you,
gotta tell
everybody.
you, man, like
Yo,
you both, it's funny. You follow people on social media for different
sure.
reasons, right? Sometimes and you and I think the one thing that we have so much in common
Hmm.
is that we take this so seriously. The
Hmm.
content we produce, it's a part of our profession, right? And
Oh,
and it's
right.
funny because
Hmm.
when I first got into the real estate realm, I
Hmm.
understood how important social media was, right? And I felt like I could take a different angle, in a sense that if I committed to the content and I developed my brand that way, that it would help me in business. It would
Hmm.
help me in business. And I feel like you've done the same thing. And John,
Hmm.
I mean this wholeheartedly.
Hmm.
Um, we are both such big fans of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh.
it and the reason
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
because our content is so much of an extension of who we are as individuals. You know?
So I agree with you completely, and I'll add one more thing. It's the
Yeah.
content and it's the finding and following and supporting the right people. So You've done that with me, and I love when you say the point of social media is social, and I'll never forget first time I met you.
Mm,
So our mutual friend Maria, real estate guru,
mm,
with Compass, is holding a charitable event. Now,
mhm.
it's a heavy sort of an event. Like the cause is kind of heavy, you know what I mean, and serious. And you talk about taking all this stuff seriously. So it's a great event. We're on the roof of some shishi building, and it's
Mhm.
beautiful and all that stuff. But you know what I remember the most? I remember the most just the joy, the fun, the like just that sense of fulfillment. I remember you. I don't think there was 5 seconds where you weren't either talking or laughing.
Yeah.
Right. And it was like, so you want to gravitate to those people if you're lucky enough,
That's a nugget bomb, John.
you know,
That's a nugget bomb. Right
right?
there. I love it. We've called it so many different things, and my
Right.
my old partner Chad Naxon would have called it
Oh, God
the
bless him. And,
nugget.
and
The
is
nugget.
he watching? Please
Yeah.
tell me he's watching.
Oh, I
Um,
mean, he's got to be. I hope he
right.
is. But I what like as you drop these nuggets, I'm gonna point them out.
That's beautiful.
Gravitating,
You
gravitating
have to.
gravitating towards those people that help you propel yourself. What a
Hey,
powerful point.
may I add one more point too, which was this
Absolutely.
same night. It was the
Every time you
same.
add a point, you have to ask though, just so you know.
Uh, oh, it's gonna be one of these kind of equality. Great. So here's the thing. But I also remember walking up to you that night, right?
Mhm.
I it ain't easy for me. I am notoriously shy by nature, and I want to walk
Did you
every
click by the
encounter.
way, did you click the share button on this? I want your people make sure your people are seeing this.
Holy smokes. Um, what am I sharing? Well, of course I shared the post.
No, I just
Um,
want to make sure this is being shared. Okay.
100%.
Okay.
So they better be, mom. So, but what I was going to say is, I'm walking up to you that night, really shy, and it's almost like, no offense, high school dance. Like
Yeah.
I'm like walking around and there's all these beautiful people in this she setting, and
Yeah.
I'm walking in and I'm like right there with. Is anybody going to talk to me? Are they going to point and laugh? Are they all going? You know what I mean? Or am I going to stand in the corner hoping somebody wants to dance with me 7 hours from now? So the fact is,
Yeah.
I know that sense of gravitating ain't always easy. So
Mhm.
I commend anybody who takes one step forward to
Mhm.
just try, to
Mhm.
just try to gravitate to somebody. And that to me is the second thing. Like it ain't as easy as it comes off. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. It's
Yeah.
more the case of give yourself credit if you're even attempting to do it. Because to me, the payoff is massive in regards to the energy. And that's what I
And
remember.
that's more a sense of vulnerability too, right?
Sure.
Like you gotta want to get naked. I say that all the time. You have to have. There's no such thing as personal growth and change without the ability to change. Think
No,
about that. How
no.
are you going to make a change if you're not going to make the change?
Yep. Well, I remember my change, like coming into the field. You know,
Yeah,
I was in the broadcast advertising sales and
yeah,
executive management for 30 years
yeah.
and 28, but close to 30 years, right? That ends, and now it's time to reinvent yourself.
Hmm.
And look, I follow a lot of people. Obviously,
And
you being one of them.
let's give some context.
Sure.
You're Northeast Philly guy,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Yeah. Were
Yep.
you a Villanova grad? I know you're a big
Yes,
Villanova.
sir.
Yeah, Villanova
But that's what we
grad.
call it.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. I'm a
yeah.
Villanova grad, or as I call it, 20 of the best years of my life. So I took kind of the slow, gradual route.
Did the Villanova? We'll breathe. The reason we're gonna go through this quickly is
Yeah.
because John and I have done this before, guys.
Yeah,
So
right. So you
yeah,
forget that
it's
it's
the
like other
first
people may
time.
not be aware.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's the
Um,
first time you've been in this on the Superstar show.
I'm
I had you
thrilled
on
to
a
be here.
previous
I
show,
am damn happy to be
and
here.
I wanted the context I want to bring is John is so John's company Duffin Media, right?
Correct.
It focuses in on the voice, but it's not just
Mhm,
so it's the literal voice in the sense
mhm.
of tonality
Yep.
and
Mhm. Yep.
volume and
Oh,
presentation,
right.
and I'm doing
Mhm.
this on purpose because I want to give
Great.
you the accolades you won't give yourself. I know
Thank you.
you, John. I know you, John, but you won't do it. So, you know, it's all of this, but what John does,
Mhm.
forgetting all of the literal stuff, it's the confidence in your ability to communicate. right?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's the most important part, because that to me is marketing 101. Because
Mhm.
really, it's
Mhm.
funny. I remember interviewing Ian Walsh, who's a really
Absolutely
well-known
right. Sure.
private lender in
Yep.
Philadelphia, and he said you have two jobs.
Mhm.
It's your job itself and it's marketing, right?
Yep.
So you have to, how are you going to make
Mhm.
any money and sell if you don't tell anybody what you're doing,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And that to me is what you do. You help people to deliver that message. And it's the most important part, John. John, in the age of social media,
Mhm.
people have forgotten how to do an actual presentation with themselves.
Oh, this is what you find, and
With
we're all works in
themselves.
progress. Right.
Like the 1960s phone book salesman. Hey, how are you? I'm John Doe. Ba da 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 da.
Mhm.
They can't do it. They can't
No,
do it.
Chad, what I find is everyone wants to get from A to Z,
Yeah.
right? Forgetting
Yeah.
B, C, D, E, and it's
Yeah.
like, hey, I want to go from here to close.
Yep.
Well, the relationship part is crucial, and the relationship part seems daunting until you realize that if you're willing to be vulnerable, and look, you said, so I grew up in Northeast Philly. I
Mhm,
was the bookwormy dweeby type,
mhm,
very few friends,
mhm,
goofy shy. Go to Villanova, as I laughingly said, flunked out a couple of times.
mhm,
Decided to take a long, arduous road, alcohol related, and
mhm,
so, and like I said, and um, it was probably my early 40s. And I'm not saying I didn't have big moments going in. I
mhm,
don't mean that, right?
mhm,
But where the first time that I felt really true to myself, oh, and closeted too. So like I said, so it
mhm,
was probably around 40 years old,
mhm,
right? And so it was just when I was starting to get true and right. And what I realized then was the more authentic, you use the word naked, right? The more
mhm,
vulnerable and all that stuff that I could be and not be afraid of what you think. And Chad, you was anybody. You
mhm,
was the dude walking down the street or the, the CEO down the, it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to beat me up? So once I came to realize that probably wasn't going to happen, or at least I could stay in the room, everything changed.
mm,
So I could have a conversation, I could have an encounter, and you talk about social media. I never before could have pictured myself posting, articulating virtually every day for the last several years.
mhm,
So the voice part, I have been told for, oh my God, I'm embarrassed to say, as long as I can remember, strangers, and I mean several times a week, coming up to me in coffee shops. Do you sound like you should be in radio? Blah, blah. So I used to push that off.
mhm.
Come on, now, that's not me. That's not me. My last broadcast ad sales job was at Univision. It ends. I got to do something. I had been
It's at
thinking.
Is that Univision?
See, see, 12 and a half years there, and I loved every bit of it.
Don't give me the Blanquito the
Oh,
pronunciation.
I was awful. So here's how you knew. So I was not I used every app and program to speak better Spanish. And
Uh,
how I knew it was bad was I would speak in Spanish to someone at my company, and they would always answer me back in English, which was basically the equivalent of like a pat on the head. You know what I mean? So I'd feel like a
well,
zero, but then
if
you just
that's
keep
not a
going.
social cue, I don't know what it is.
I got a lot of them, right? What's Johnny Anglo doing here? But so it ends, and that's okay, right? And now it's like you got to do something. So I had been thinking about this purpose, the sense of voice. So
Uh-huh.
I do voiceover work, I do narration. It matters to me. Real estate narration, I've been
Mhm.
doing. And the other thing is realizing that I couldn't be the only shy, reserved person around. I couldn't be.
It's true.
I used to think I was. I used to think everybody else had it together. And if you watch social media, you'd really be thrown because everybody sounds awesome.
So was it the cart before the horse, or the horse before the cart, in the sense of you exude so
Mhm,
much confidence
mhm,
now and you're so consciously
mhm.
aware of
Yeah,
how you're presenting?
yeah.
Was it practice making it perfect, or was it the
Mhm.
confidence prior to?
Well, the sense of confidence internally is
Uh-huh.
the first,
Uh-huh.
but nothing gets away from the practice of it.
Uh-huh.
Nothing,
Uh-huh.
nothing.
There you
It's
go.
doing
And
the
I'm
work.
glad I fed you right into that point, which is exactly what I wanted you to
You got to
thank
do
you
the
for.
work. Right?
Thank
Brother,
you.
but you
So
said
so
you and
no,
I
no, but
were.
No, but there's a point here. There's a point here.
Sure.
Ask me why you're on the show today. Ask me why. Ask me
Okay,
why.
wait.
And the reason why is because I'm looking to
Mm,
connect with
right.
people that
Mhm.
are high level in what they do, right?
Ah.
No matter what. And the
Chad,
one
why am I on
thing
the show today?
you're on the show because you are a professional content creator,
Thank you.
right? And I mean that with the highest
Mhm.
level of what's the word I'm looking, not oh, compliment.
Acknowledgement,
No, no,
appreciation.
highest level of
Appreciation.
yeah, there you go. Whatever. I couldn't think of the word.
Right.
Anyway, this just shows you how the show's live. I can't. Anyway, I mean it that way because I want everyone to hear this message, right?
Mhm.
Doesn't matter what business you're in.
No.
If you're on social media
Mhm.
to grow your brand and your business, you need to take what you're posting and creating seriously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
And
gonna say, right, you and me were just compared. We
yeah,
both interviewed our friends Bruno and Stacy Marcinkowski.
yeah.
Both,
I,
and
I
within say
screwed
a
up their
month.
last. By the way, you do their last name so well. I do not. I butchered it. I butchered
That's practice. That's practice.
it.
That is practice. Ask Josh Buckner that I am literally feeding when I was doing the Real Producers Awards Gala. I'm literally, am I saying this right? Am I saying that right? He knows. But here's what I was going to say. We were both commended by Bruno and Stacy in the way that we interviewed them.
Mhm.
And they talked about differences, but both of us, I think, have this in common is that sense of, you keep saying it and you're right,
Yeah.
taking this seriously,
Mhm.
but it doesn't sound it.
Mhm.
It doesn't sound it. There's nothing about you when I listen today or any
Mhm.
time that is like, oh, he's serious. But what is serious? All the prep, all the understanding of why this matters so that you
Uh-huh.
can go into a conversation and not be worried about, and I'm doing it intentionally. Wait, it's that's the prep.
Yep.
So the communication, the social posting, the content creator,
Mhm.
Chad, it takes a lot for me not to push back when somebody says that to me.
Mhm.
Oh no, no, no! I'm just getting started. Oh no, no, no! For me to just simply say thank you is significant growth because
Yeah.
I was typically like, no, no, no! I'm just kind of messing around. I'm not. You're not.
Mhm.
We take it seriously. The preparation goes so to have a conversation that feels easy with a point. And
Mhm.
that's to me the key to have the flow, to have the story, to all of that. That's what I do with individuals and companies now. It's not just use my own voice, but it's the sense of the communication, and nothing that I do mitigates the preparation.
Mm.
Nothing. If you're not prepared, then none of what I'm going to teach is going to matter. It just isn't. But where it does matter is you don't want to
Yeah,
be the one.
but John, like
Yeah.
just to, and I'm purposely cutting you off because and I'm doing I want everyone to know this. John can go, guys. If you get John on a topic, John will go. Okay, so I'm purposely cutting him off for reasons. No, no, it's good. It's good banter. That's what we want.
Thank you.
But but you have to understand something too. You and I have
Mhm.
not scripted this discussion. You
No,
and I have
no,
not premeditated what this is. As a matter of
no.
fact, tell everyone when I asked you
Mhm.
to be on today.
Oh, that was about 2 hours ago.
Yeah, legitimately,
Oh,
right?
I maybe not even, maybe 90 minutes. I was in the middle of something else and it,
But I
I'm like,
have a
oh,
point,
okay.
but there's a
Sure.
point for that. There's a
Mhm.
point. The point is that I want everyone to realize that this is what it takes, right?
Mhm.
To get to this level.
Right.
This level of
Mhm.
how we can produce content
Mhm.
that's consistent with our brands, but do it on a dime,
Right.
right? And
Ah.
there's a bigger point. There's a bigger
Mhm.
point. You represent your brand, right?
Sure.
I represent my brand.
Mhm.
Do you know at any given time when you're going to have to be ready to promote your brand,
No. No.
right?
Literally anytime, and it happens. I guess that's a mark of progress all the time. It
Exactly.
happened in Chicago
Exactly.
2 days ago. two
Exactly.
days ago, literally, like in some unassuming, I'm flitting around Chicago, and somebody like comes, all right, so what exactly do you do? And that used to freak me out.
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
as Chad said, yeah, I have a tendency of going. One of
Mhm.
the areas of growth for me is
Mhm.
just to be a little bit more succinct,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know? And that's
Mhm.
what I was going to say, which is for me, it's two directions, and you pick whatever you like better.
Mhm.
I do the voice work for you, for your corporation, for your narration. I get a story. I can deliver a story.
Mhm.
Secondly, it's I help your team sound their best for a big money presentation. Are you listing a home? Are you presenting to executives? You have to sound a certain way, and it's not like a voiceover guy.
And I'll do you one even better next time you're
Yeah.
selling somebody.
Yep.
Tell them to close your eyes. Tell them to close their eyes
How about
and
that?
listen.
Right?
Can
That's
you
beautiful,
imagine the
man.
impact that would
Mhm.
have?
Mhm.
Next time someone asks you that, tell them to close their eyes and listen.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Boom.
I love it, brother.
Boom.
I love it. Yeah.
Boom.
And that's how, and so it's which way, whatever way you want to head. Is it, would you
Yeah.
rather tell your own story? Great. I will help you optimize it. Would you rather me tell the story? You like the sound? Great.
Yep.
I'm a quick study.
Yep.
And that's the part. I'm a quick study. I don't play around. And I'll get you exactly where you want to go.
And that's like that's the purpose of today's show, and that's
Mm,
why I want everyone to see. I hope people
mhm,
watch and rewatch this show. Always be prepared to tell the
mhm,
story of your brand, right?
mhm,
Number one, continue to practice and put intention, great intention
mhm.
in your social media,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's so important. Like, I don't know how many times I can tell people are you going to post about mortgages? How many times have you looked at my pages where I post about mortgages?
Oh, I was going to say,
Never,
you would need a
never.
while to go scroll, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Rates are
but
X,
there's
and
a reason. There's a
mhm,
reason
mhm,
because you're not. There's millions of people in my space. Millions.
sure,
I'm not even exaggerating. There's like
right,
so many people. Why are you going with me? Because of the experience.
yeah,
Because of the experience.
you're not
I
going to drop a
want you to
ball.
walk away
Hmm.
knowing that it was the best experience. And
Hmm.
I give that to you in
Hmm.
how I present my content. You know what I like
Hmm.
to eat. You know what I like to
Hmm.
do. You know that you're going to tell me all of your most pressing information, your
Hmm.
social
Hmm.
security number, how much you have in the bank. I want you to feel comfortable.
Dude, I'll never, that first night at the Sterling rooftop, you and Kevin Hart
Yep.
were
Not
literally,
not
you talk
not
about
the
the
comedian. Not the
no, I know, I know, I know. But guess what? I'm like, where is he? When you're like Kevin Hart, I'm like, I don't see him. But you were talking about, not only were you talking about food,
Yeah.
and Kevin is an acclaimed chef, but what
Yeah.
I was going to say is, but you were having such fun with food. I
I
can
love it.
picture you
I love it.
literally. So I knew that night
I eat with a passion,
that
man.
you're a foodie. That
Yeah,
you're
oh
a
yeah.
foodie. I knew that
Oh
night you're a foodie,
yeah.
and it matters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the details of rates and exchanges and interest rates up or down, blah, blah, was so unimportant
Yep.
in that context. But it
Yep.
wasn't like I'm like, well, that's beneath them. It's
Yep.
like I just know that I need to learn more. And with
Yep.
you,
Yep.
you helped me in regards to me being in an open house. So I'm a realtor also with Keller Williams Philadelphia. And so
Mhm.
I was doing a bunch of open houses early on, right? And often you're there by yourself,
Mhm.
and all that. But I'm lugging along a tripod and my iPhone, and I am literally winging it at this
Mhm.
point. What the hell am I going to talk about? I don't know. Um, but what I did know, I give myself a little more credit. Here's what I did know. I wasn't going to inundate and bludgeon people with statistics. That's
Yep.
the only thing I knew.
Yep.
Like, I'm not going to go through a actual walking tour because to me personally, it was mind numbing,
Mhm.
of a 20 minutes of square footage
Mhm.
and open floor plan. And like, but
Mhm.
I see the floor, I mean, so my only thought was, how can I make it different without overthinking it?
Mhm.
That's it. It's right.
Mhm.
How do you make it different? Not overthink it. And thirdly, put a little bit of your heart, soul, whatever.
You
Put
get
about a
them
little bit of you in it.
you
Just put a
you
little bit of
get
you in
them to fall in love with you. That's what you have to do. It doesn't matter what you
it.
sell or
Right.
what you do. Okay, number one, you have to be good at it. Okay, no
Yeah.
matter what, you have to be
Mhm.
good at it,
Mhm.
right? I can tell you wholeheartedly, I'm closing the loan. Okay,
Yeah, right.
I know I'm a good dog and pony show, but I'm
Right.
closing the look, right? Like I'm gonna close
Yeah,
the look.
that's
And,
not
and
the
but
details are there.
but once you've mastered your craft and you're
Mhm.
confident enough in your ability to do it,
Right.
then it's having people connect. And
Mhm.
this is such an important point, John, because it really is. People think that because they're so successful in how they do it, that they
Mhm.
can disregard the human connection.
Oh.
And it's very,
Mhm.
very upsetting to me because it's
Mhm.
like, I don't care how much you've done or sold
Mhm.
if you're a DICK. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Am I right?
But yeah, and it's like I don't work with those people. I choose not to. So the field I was in,
Mhm,
you worked with the clients.
mhm,
You cater to the clients.
mm.
You literally kiss the backsides of the clients. No,
And
you
I'm
know what I
sorry.
mean? Where it's
And
like,
wait, I want to go on a rant right now. Can I go on a rant?
yeah,
Because
sure.
it's in my head right now. It's in my head. This is the
You're like
part
me.
that, like,
Mm.
no, but it gets you so mad. When buttholes are
Yeah,
successful, it
yeah.
makes you so mad because you're like,
Well, it
you're
does.
such a jerk. You're
You know
such
what?
a
You know what's?
jerk.
Do you know what's?
Especially in the ad space, like
Yeah,
these people that
yeah.
are like, they made all this money and they have to
Hmm.
spend it, and they're beating you up for all the money they have to
Hmm.
spend on the ad, right?
Hmm.
It's like $1 million ad.
See
It's
the
like a
face that I
million.
just made? I
Yeah.
can feel that.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
like
remember.
$1 million ad, and they're such jerks, and you're like,
Oh, brutal,
why
brutal.
are the jerks
Now, there
succeeding?
is a ton of beautiful
Uh,
people in my field, and I make great relationships, and I love them to death. But every so often, I'm like, "Am I?" Here's the biggest problem with them, right?
yeah,
That who you just described.
yeah,
They make you second guess you, and
totally,
that's ugly
totally,
because it's like you
totally,
can't do that. It's the one thing you
totally,
can't do. Don't. I've done it.
totally.
Which you second guess your technique, your style. Am I not good enough because that guy, that person, she, they, who is successful, and maybe I'm too nice. I
Mm,
remember somebody telling me that one time early in my career. You're too nice.
mm,
I believed it.
mm,
So but I'm like, but what do you do with that? So for me, it's how I've learned to get better. How I coach people to get better is be truer. Just
mm.
be truer. And if
Because at the end
truer
of the
ain't
day,
flawless,
no, because at the end of the day, if you've done it your way,
yeah,
right,
you sleep.
you should be good with that.
You should be able to sleep.
Yep.
Here's when I knew I made the right decision
Uh,
in launching Duffin Media.
mm,
I still remember first job I had. Literally, I'm getting coached by a producer, and all the tech is new to me, right?
mm,
And I am not a techie. I'm just not. But when you're an entrepreneur and it's your own company, you learn or you lean into somebody who knows. Anyway, so it's like connecting the mic to this, to that, and all that sort. And I have a job, and somebody's like chirping in my ear, and it was like the job had to be done. Here's when I knew. I knew because I wasn't nervous. I
mm.
knew because I wasn't freaking out.
Yep.
I just knew, like, okay, got it. Okay, so what do we do? How do we do? And I never forgot the feeling. How like you said, if you said at the beginning of the show, where it's like if you were not, it's like if it's not the right fit, if it's not the right opportunity, you get these chances to realize it. That's when I knew it was right. I don't
So
get
at
nervous
the
about
end
that
of,
stuff. I don't
but
get
so at
nervous.
the but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and I think the overarching message in everything
Hmm.
is that you're completely proud of the fact that your company is a
Yeah.
true representation of you.
Yes. 100%. Flaws and all is what I say. Flaws and all. I don't say it's perfection. All I say is that's a beautiful way to say that. I ain't
Mm.
gonna say nothing else other than yes.
I'm so eloquent.
Right? Right? With no prep, folks. With no prep.
No,
And freshly showered, which I find also very impressive. So,
yeah.
um,
I got a good hose. What can I tell you?
right? But yeah, that's how, and that's to me the coolest part of taking the risks on your own.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
John, so here's the message, and you and I
Yeah.
are going to cut it short today because
Sure.
we
Cool.
are going
Because
to
it's
talk
Labor Day
about.
weekend. Let's get
No,
people
but it's not
outside
only
again, right?
that. It's not only
Mm.
that. It's not only that. We're going to segue into something else you and I are working on together,
Oh,
right? Something that's really cool.
yeah, baby.
John and
Mm,
I just very recent. Again,
mhm,
everything's ad hoc with us.
mhm,
Literally this week have decided to produce something together, a
mhm.
new show that I think is going to really change. So John and I have a lot of similar spheres,
Nope.
but I think that we're both very driven, very
Mhm.
motivated, very
Yeah.
passionate, and John and I are going to work on a weekly show
Mhm.
called Your Monday Motivation,
Mhm.
and we're going to find ways to help people get their spiritual mojo or
Mhm.
motors running.
Yeah.
And
This excites me. Look, there are colleagues in our field. I'm going to give a shout out. If he's
yeah,
hearing it now or later, to Chris Stevens. Like I said, with Coffee with Chris on Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. And it is such an important thing that he does. Here's what I love about what we're taking on. So for me, I used to call it Sunday night syndrome when I
mm,
was worried in my former career because Mondays, I was afraid of Monday, right?
Sunday scaries, Sunday
Yeah,
scaries.
oh, there you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Or is it
So
Monday scaries? I don't even know.
well, it's Sunday scaries leading into Monday. So Monday was rough. The other part is the timing of this too. So
Uh,
that we're starting on Labor Day. The other part that used to freak me out was that sense of, oh my God, more is going to be expected of me. Summer's over, back to school, whatever the cliche is, that something big's coming. In my former ad space, it was business plan or you're gonna have to get it in gear, vacations are over, and more was so you got naturally tense. My thought is for me come is breaking this into smaller pieces, realizing that we're all coming in together at this point. So as we all collectively convene on Monday mornings, it is really a way to understand you ain't too late. You're not too old. You didn't wait too long. It's like it's the old adage. Just it's exactly the right time. It's easy, digestible things to just move yourself financially, professionally, motivationally, physically, whatever. I'm a constant work in progress. And I could sit around and think about all the books I didn't read this summer or all the weight I was supposed to lose and didn't. Oh, am I ready to run Chicago? No, whatever. What I was going to say though is rather than languish in that, I
mm.
can then say, hey, look, here's a great opportunity. Here's a great opportunity to just get rolling. It's like just get rolling.
And that's
And
what
you
we
put a
wanna
little,
do. That's what John and I wanna do. We wanna
yeah,
help you get your week rocking.
that's
We
it.
wanna come up with some triggers that help
Mhm.
you music, books, people,
Yeah,
quotes,
yup.
things that get they put
Mhm.
your to trigger that, "Oh, yeah, it's game on. It's Monday. Let's rock out."
Yup.
And we're
Yeah.
gonna come up with stuff. We're gonna the only problem we are gonna have, John, is probably the copyrighted music part because I know Facebook's all over that.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
we may have to come up with some originals. I don't
Or we're gonna have to sing.
No, the show, then we'll have 0
Yeah,
viewers. So let's say no to
right. But
that.
everything else, I was gonna say, oh, yeah, yeah, I talk, I don't sing. Um
No, but John and I are really excited to share this news with you
Mhm.
guys. We're actually I'm not John,
Mhm.
can I tell the truth? Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I mean, if you've made it to the end of this video, you deserve to hear this. We're gonna actually tape Monday's show and right after this. And John asked the question of changing clothes. So if you see me in the same shirt,
Like, these
okay,
weirdos have been in the same outfit for 4 days now.
it's not because we didn't
The
sleep and went
weekend was
running.
that good. The weekend was that strong.
No,
John
but
had
in
a
all
regression, we'll say.
but
Um,
John, I'm
yeah,
gonna leave it at this. I want to
yep,
say, and summation of our conversation today is
yep,
that Duffin Media
boom,
is literally John Duffin in every
mhm,
aspect of the word.
yeah,
You have evolved so much personally and professionally, and I've watched you evolve.
thank
And
you.
you are a professional
Mhm,
content creator. You're a professional motivator. You're a
mhm,
professional coach.
mhm,
And I believe that anybody who's approaching business in a serious way and in a self-driven,
yeah,
self-motivated society
mhm,
has to do these things. And if you guys need that, John's your guy.
mhm.
John's your guy,
Thank you,
guys.
brother.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I love the net that you've or the net that you've cast, which is the coolest thing that amongst a lot of things in regards to your profession is how you were able to expand upon this being outside of that singular linear like it mortgage back lender like mortgage finance person.
Mhm,
It doesn't mean you're not, and you're damn good, but it also means I can see you in a million different lights and they all feel true. And
mhm,
that's the key with you is I know exactly where you're coming from. anyone who watches you knows that there's a kindness, there's a heart, there's also a no nonsense, and I love that part too. And you'll
Oh,
hear that with your questions and stuff you ask
yeah.
people. You don't play around, and I think it's great. You get to the bottom of stuff, and you don't, and I think that's also great. So it's just going to be a pleasure, and I can't wait to get this rolling on Mondays.
Yeah, I can't either. JD, you're a superstar in every sense of the word, my friend.
Love you, and
And
I
I
can't
look
wait. What
forward to
time we doing
having
this
you
on
on.
Monday mornings?
We're gonna be 9:30. We're gonna shoot for 9:30. Hopefully, go
Oh my God,
live
shoot!
after
If
Labor
I'm
Day.
up,
Yeah, we're gonna
yeah,
shoot for
damn right we are.
9:30 on Mondays. The
Damn right we are.
Superstar Lender
Mhm.
and the Superstar Media Mogul. I
No,
like that better. What do you think of
I
that?
like it
I
too.
like
Media
Superstar.
mogul, I'm on. I'm on, brother.
John Duffin, Chad Levine. I want to thank everyone for watching this edition of the Superstar Show. I am back, baby. I am back. I am
Clearly,
back with a bang. I cannot wait to bring you guys more amazing content with more superstars in the coming weeks. And Johnny, I'm
yo,
gonna just say peace out, and everyone have a
peace
good
out.
Labor
Happy
Day, and
Labor
we'll
Day,
see you
all.
soon.
Great Tito, and we will talk soon.
Thanks for
Bye, bye,
watching the
bye.
Superstar Show. Peace.